All right. Welcome in. I am the average goob, and I've got a tree behind me. Yeah, that's right. I got a tree behind me. Oh, all right. Feels good to be back. Starting next week, I've got a lot of stuff to work on for this game now that I'm gonna have some free time. But it's just been kind of chill time, taking a little break. I've been game deving for like 6 months now, and it kind of caught up to me. I didn't realize how much I was doing it. But that brings me to what I wanted to talk about. And it's the fact that GX Games allows you to upload your projects to GX Games now. So I did a test run. I've got Archimist here, and I published it to Opera. Sorry, the GX Games. Opera owns them. So it's actually really cool. It's just like a little library that you can add. So do like GX Games, Godot library. Okay, it must be so new that it's not even on here. Hold on, I got this. Godot to GX Games. Check it out. So they've got a GitHub that you can do Unity, Godot, and then Game Maker, which is what they started out with. So like I have like some of my Game Maker games on there. But boom, we got GX Games Archimist up here now. You can see December 14th right there. So Archimist, along with, well, yeah, we can see that it doesn't accept HTML. That's fun. But yeah, all this stuff's on there, along with Key the Board Warrior, Quiet Quitter, and What's in Your Mouth. These were all games in Game Maker. But I figured because What's in Your Mouth has over 20,000 plays, I'm like, this might be a good place to publish games. So I'm taking a stab by publishing Archimist here and just seeing how it goes. Oh, it's pretty loud at the beginning there. But yeah, that's pretty cool. So now we can publish games from Godot, and the GX Games runs it so much better than Itch, but I'll still publish to both. Oh, but today we are working on Rise of the Intern. This is my 2D survivors like RPG, and I'm going to use RPG loosely moving forward. There's RPG elements and there's like a overarching story, but I realized I gotta probably scale this game design document just a little bit. Um, to say RPG like as well. It's like survivors like RPG like light, maybe RPG light would be better. So we'll see about that. But I've got some high level tasks. I want to start working on the ranged enemy. I need to set up an enemy spawner, just something that can help with waves. And then saving and loading player data would be huge. I would love to be able to do this. I've got like a proof of concept with saving character appearances, but I need to do like the whole character. And then somebody brought to my attention that the characters would look better if their faces moved. So yeah, I can see that. They're just eyes open the whole time. So at some point I would like to work on that. But while I was away, I added a CRT monitor shader. So anytime you're accessing the computer like apps and stuff in the game, there will be the shader for it. So it just adds a little bit to it. And then when you get into the game, it goes away. So you know when you're in the real world. I might the survivors like combat could be a computer simulated thing. That might be interesting. I'm gonna die because these guys do a lot of damage. Oh wait, maybe I scaled their damage back a little bit. So yeah, I need to work on like some ranged projectiles and stuff that the player. Maybe I start with the player shooting the enemies. That way they don't have to be in melee, and then we'll basically have like the bones for survivors. Also, I added some decorations from Key, so I could technically put in like some of these items here. I could do like a bookshelf. Oh, it's not Y sorted. Need to move this up. So just do some of these just for some level decoration. But yeah, I was like, oh, it kind of matches the art style, but I like even just looking at the bookshelf versus my new characters, I think my art improved quite a bit just from that project. I mean, granted, this was the first time I did digital art by hand, so um yeah, I might do some temp level stuff just to beef up the play area a little bit here. Let's do a little node 2D. Let's do temporary level assets. Could add some like desks and stuff.
You need more things for me to spend my points on.
Hey, Spot Monk, welcome in. Thanks for the text to speech. More things for you to spend your points on. Is there not enough in there? You can highlight your message, posture check, hydrate, unlock a random emote, send a message, choose an emote. Huh? Oh, to modify? You got text to speech, you got stretch, you can modify a single emote, you can play random sounds from my games, you can name something in game, you can make it emote only chat, which I guess doesn't make sense when there's not many people. You can make me stand, you can force engaged focus mode, and you can make me lose my glasses. I feel like that's so many things. I don't even know what else I would add to this. What would you want? If I were to add things, what would make sense? You're not into being mean, making me do things. It's not mean. I wouldn't I would. I mean, maybe the glasses. That's probably mean. Um, but you know, it's within reason, right? I don't really want to do level design. I'm just gonna add a bunch of stuff in here. You like sound clips? Uh, yeah. I think those are bits though. I get overwhelmed with noises and a bunch of stuff playing all the time, so I have to limit that kind of interaction. But for bits, you can play sounds, I think. What else is there? Yeah, for like bits, you can play like different fart sounds, jump scares, applause, some sounds that my brother made. But yeah, I feel like yeah, you can use your points. There are game sounds like from my game or games that I've made. I added like a randomized sound thing in there. So like I wonder if one of them will play. Let me see. Aw. Yeah. I don't know why it plays the redemption sound for that. It shouldn't. Hang on. Oh, I think that's like a Twitch alert thing. I'll have to look into that. But it's like oh at the end of that. It's goofy. All right, I was going to decorate the level. but I just want to make a projectile. Um, we just we do like thrown item. I don't really want to call this projectile. Um, because like they'll have different thing, like it'll be like paper clips or paper or something. I don't really want to call them projectiles. All right, it's gonna be called a projectile base. Folder. The gamer background should throw dice. Have the ability to nat 20 or crit fail. That's actually that's not a bad idea. I kind of have some things here for the classes. So, like we've got like their overview, kind of like what their role is. So, range DPS, glass cannon, high damage output with use of crowd control and debuffs. So, we've got like his passive ability, their passive abilities. This is your character, you make it whatever you want. So increased damage, creating AoE when smashing peripherals. So you just have like you just rage out. Sweaty reduces snare effects, and these are things you'll be able to talent into. Which reminds me, I need to make. Hold up, I need to make a talent scene. Install on next launch. Just need to remember to do this. Okay. Figure all this out. Have you tried that Figma to Godot thing yet? No. No, I haven't. It looked cool, but at the same time, like it's still kind of in development, so I haven't really put any thought into it. But it would be cool to like test it out for something like this. Like this would be a really big use case for it. This HUD would be like a simple way to do it. I feel like my UI is like simple enough for it to handle something like that. But like this quest log is kind of dynamic. The rest of this, like this could be static and pretty easy to build. This would be kind of a static build. But then it's like, I think each of these would be their own scenes and stuff. And it doesn't take long to build. I haven't really spent the time to try to do it. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be a good idea to look at it. I haven't even looked at the GitHub repo for it yet. What does this need? Oh, an area 2D. Oh, okay. And then we add the sprite and we add collision shape. Feel like a lot of things like that do real static stuff. Right. That's what I'd be curious. Like, I wouldn't mind if it made like a static UI to get me started, but like you've seen my UIs, right? Like I feel like it's not that hard to make these kinds of things once you have like the base theme and stuff set up. Like it wasn't really that hard to make all this stuff, you know? And like, can it do tabs? Can it do all this stuff easily? But then like I put all this stuff in through code. Hey, David Temstep, what's up, dude? How you doing tonight? Oh, you can see a Sophie down here. It's just her butt. Oh, she got in bed. But yeah, I added this little shader to the game, so it looks like it's in a computer screen. I didn't make the shader. I went to godotshaders.com or something, whatever it's called. Yo, Granger, what's up? But yeah, the shader is pretty neat. And I was thinking maybe I can make like the survivor style gameplay like a computer game instead of making it like a dream. Once I saw this little shader, I was like, oh, this could be pretty cool. Granger, have you heard back about your game yet being published? I'm just gonna do the mug for now. It's a nerd mug. You have to do some tweaks before it's submitted to the publishers to check out. Dude, that is so cool. Granger, if that game gets published and you end up like building out a full game to it, man, out of a game jam, that literally you have to tell people your story. That's like what every game dev wants is their game jam game to be published. I think that's awesome. Oh, oh. You plan on finishing it regardless. Yeah, man, it was actually a fun game. Like I can see that being on like GX Games or talk to Fullbox. Like he's published some like web games and stuff before. Might be worth like seeing his connections because that would be cool to see that on just like a kids games publisher or something. Like it's a really good game. Even as a proof of concept, it's really good. Thinking about mobile as well. Ooh, that'd be cool. What does a projectile need? Like how long it can last? Oh yeah, Mars released a game too. He released a game for that game jam. Um, yeah, this is Granger's project, everyone. It's actually a lot of fun. You play as like this little gnome guy and a penguin, and you're dropping presents into houses. And there's like different present styles, so you gotta like swap between them and drop the right ones in, and then like blizzard will come. And granted, Granger said the wind wasn't that much, but let me tell you, it threw off my groove. And then you can like run into trees and it drops a present and stuff. Like there's the blizzard warning. Like it was legit for like a what was it, 2 week game jam? This was impressive. And like the mixing of assets and everything, like everything came together so good. But yeah, it doesn't play that good in Edge, but I played this in Opera or Chrome and it works fine. Okay, don't worry about. Oh, I did. I made it. I made that present. But yeah, he made this in Unity. I'm gonna share it. Whether Granger wants me to or not, I don't know. But you can check it out there. And then Mars made one too. I don't know how much further he got. This is for the solo dev jam. Okay. Okay, he added sound effects. So this is, I think, Mars's first game jam ever. And again, he didn't give me permission to show this, but it's on the internet. What are those? Oh no, what are they? Oh, purple. Oh, okay, that's new. That's new. There's things to shrink the paddle or make it bigger. This is neat. Anyways, this is his first game jam game, and I highly recommend anybody making games start with projects like this. These are like the OGs. Apparently, Steve Wozniak created the concept for this game, so you can copy some of the best people. Well, all this is just taking my mouse position and it's moving the paddle to my mouse position, which granted is kind of difficult, not full screen. Um, it's really well made. Little pause, everything is made in Godot as well, so it's cool. You made those tweaks you suggested, just haven't uploaded yet. Okay. So you got a pause menu and stuff too, Granger? But yeah, if you want to give this a little shot, this is something Mars made for the solo development jam. I was gonna join this. I really was. Holy cow, so many people made games. Dang, that one looks fully featured. It's so cool. So it's awesome to know so many cool people making games out there, and like you guys keep inspiring me to work on mine, even if it takes me a while. You gotta add the touch controls. You can do like a virtual controller and stuff, right? Like that'd probably be the easiest. You impress yourself with what you're able to make in 50-ish hours. Me too, Granger. Like I said, like that's like a fully fleshed out game. You've got like what 4 or 5 levels in it. It's pretty lengthy. It has difficulty. It's got obstacles. It's got objectives. You have like scoring. I mean, it's got everything a game needs, and you did it in 2 weeks. Basically a week of full time, which is amazing. But oh man, I'm impressed. So yeah, give those games a shot. If you guys are looking to support some indie devs, Granger's and Mars games, fun little plays. I'm trying to figure out what I need for a bullet. So we definitely need speed. And then how much damage it does. Uh, I think is speed like a built-in variable? I don't know. Oops. Oh, I can just do this, right? Is this frowned upon? Or is this only reserved for like function variables? I don't know. Can I name? They name theirs speed. Whatever. Levels was the easy part with the dynamic generator you built. All I had to do for each level is supply a data asset and it builds the levels dynamically. Seriously? Dang, Granger, I missed that part of your build when you were actually putting together the level editor and stuff. I saw some of it, and I did comment on how you're the guy to do procedural animation or procedural level generation. Probably better to put exports above the on-readies. That way you have what's at the top. You had a blast building it? Dude, that is awesome to hear. You know, this game feels like it's taking forever to build, but it's also the most complex project I've literally ever built. So I gotta give myself a break. I gotta quit, you know, I don't even know what the word is. Talking poorly to myself about it. Like, I gotta give myself some credit, right? Gotta quit being so hard on myself. Thank you. And yeah, like, and the thing is, like, I haven't even built out like the actual levels or anything, but I've got like the base of it almost ready. I plan on spending like the next 2 weeks really going through it. Um, I actually created, so I want to finish my website too. So I worked on my about page. The game single's done, the home page is done. I got to work on a portfolio page, which is basically just going to be like these listed out. So that's going to be easy. But I've got to build this page out, which shouldn't be too difficult. I've already got this done. I've already got this done. This is easy to make. I've already got this done. So like once I have that ready to go, I'm going to focus on building out Rise of the Intern. Oh heck yeah, Granger. I would love to have you play test for me and everything, man. Like development feedback is huge. I think it would be awesome to have that help. Oh hey! Seto with the raid. Welcome in. Hello, Raiders. What up? I'm also a Raider from Seto. This is awkward. Wow, welcome, welcome, welcome. How was, I was gonna say raid. Oh my gosh, 71 people. Seto, what the heck, dude? How you doing? How was the rest of the stream? Oh, you're a goofy goober. Okay, expanded cuber, welcome in. RGB Productions Games, welcome in. Code Void, hello. Sabian, welcome in. Guess I'm a raider now, right, Granger? Hope you're having fun so far. Oh, I am. I actually just started. What am I, 30 minutes in? I'm creating a little projectile. I'm using my nerd mug to create a projectile for now. I was all over the place dev-wise and made some progress in all categories. Okay, that's good. See, I like making some progress at least on something, and I think that makes it successful. Seto's favorite emote? What what is that? Oh no, we got ads. What timing was that? Ah, we had a raid that brought in like 55 people and folks just kind of stuck. Oh, that's nice. I'm sorry about the ads. Hey, Ani Shard. Seto raid. For the record, I hate that emo. I figured Seto. I wouldn't expect you to like that. Oh, I love the little frog. I'm just joshing. Well, Fuzzy, I'm always joshing, so I get that. It's a joke for those of you that know. Well, I will I'll talk about who I am in just a second once ads are done. For anybody who's curious and can hear me. For those of you that don't have ads and we've got like a little secret club going on, check this out. I started working with shaders and yeah, that little like scan line thing that you're seeing, that's a shader. Yeah, so it's like a little computer now. So like it looks like I'm on a computer. On my computer. I'm building the matrix. Um so yeah, this is for everyone who doesn't get ads. Check it out. I'm building a little survivors like RPG and these are my very dull characters right now. It's funny that I actually chose like the same exact outfit as the NPCs. Um I haven't built any enemy styles yet, but yeah, this is the base of it. These guys are just hanging out, just slowly dying on the inside and trying to kill me at the same time. But today I want to work on some range projectiles and at least get that going so that we can have the real basis of a survivors like game. Relatable. Anyways, welcome in everyone from the raid. Sorry about the ad break, but thank you for sticking around. I'm the average goob. I am a professional web developer and a hobbyist game designer who went to college for game design, and I have my bachelor's. So I figured I'd start making stuff with it, right? Right now, I'm working on a game in Godot called Rise of the Intern, and I have a game design document for it that I will eventually, once the project is live, make public so people can see and learn from me. But it's 35 minutes to read, so I'll skip over that. And hold on, Average Game Studio, not Average Uwu Game Studio. All right. averagegamestudio.com. I've got a little website here that I'm actually in the middle of redesigning and rebranding, really just changing the pink to orange, which is, anyways, I'll tell the story once that site's launched. But you can come check out all my games. I've got tons of games on here that I've made over the past like 15, 20 years, something like that. It's been a long time, but most of these were game jams. And so I'm taking my first stab at kind of a long term project. And that's what the Rise of the Intern is. But just in the past year, I've made these three games: Quiet Quitter, Key the Board Warrior, and Archimist. Both Key the Board Warrior and Archimist were made on stream. And also, good news, GX Games allows you to publish Godot games now. So I've got Archimist. That was kind of loud. I've got Archimist on GX Games now. So make sure to check that out. It's pretty cool. And Key the Board Warrior. This was actually my first digital art hand-drawn game that I made myself. And I even kept a blog on it, on what I did to build the game. So if you're curious about what that looks like, there's a whole YouTube playlist, so you can go back and watch all that. This was all made in Game Maker. And I go through everything. Like I went through and I showed all of my process in drawing all the art, doing the animation, all this stuff. The best raids are always straight into ads. Even better is when you raid just as the streamer's raiding out and then you raid into an empty stream. Oh my gosh, Fuzzy, that is the best one. When you raid into an empty stream, I was trying to raid the Captain Coder. Speaking of learn you a game jam, I was trying to raid into the Captain Coder and I went to Captain Coder. I don't even know who the guy was. It let me go to a stream that wasn't even live. Right into someone who's AFK for a whole hour? No. What happened? Code void. You've done that once or twice. Yeah, you can't control it. You rated someone and they had a business call? Oof. I can't say I've done that one before yet, but there's time. Seto, actually, I got my streamer stats, and I just wanted to let you know, I think I rated you like 11 times this year. I don't know how to figure out where those stats are again. I found it. Hang on. Where is it? Oh no, I'm sorry. Seto, I'm sorry. I lied. You rated me 10 times. So thank you for that. Thank you, Seto. You were one of my biggest supporters. And then my brother was second in line, and then his girlfriend was third in line. So I know who the people supporting me are. Um, that's cool. And I rated out to JD Does Dev, Practical NPC, and Two Nerdy Nerds 8, 6, and 5 times. So it was pretty productive. But I thought that was cool. That's right. You rated me 10 times. That's impressive. Probably actually 12 times now. But yeah, so welcome in, Raiders again. You guys totally didn't miss me showing off my game while the ads were playing. So yeah, I added a CRT kind of monitor shader to the computer screen here. So when you're in the title, and then making your character, this is kind of like little simulation. And then we've got some base survivor style gameplay. And then they just sit there, and I'm not gonna make the joke again, but they take damage and I take damage. So right now I'm working on getting a projectile. I swear I was working right before everyone showed up. I was definitely working. It would be more if I had seen you on sooner. Yeah, totally. I was totally working. I wasn't showing off Granger's project. All right. What are we doing here? Okay, we need to get the projectile to spawn in, set up a lifetime timer. I really just want this to move. Can you do a physics process on Area 2D? Is that a thing? Also, this isn't going to work for me because I'm not doing this from the player. In a direction. This needs to pick a target. It was kind of working. Yeah. Yeah. About to say you're gonna snowball and have all this fun with features. Then I remember you actually have a plan. I know, right? That's the problem. Having a plan prevents all that. I'm actually thinking about scaling my game idea down a little bit to make it a little bit more manageable, and then, add those features back in later. All right, let's go through this video. Um, Player passive damage timer. Can I do this? Can I just do a node and add in like these timers? You need to get me one of those things. Yeah, a game design document can be as long or as short as you need it to be. the main goal of the document is to just get your ideas out onto paper. And like it took me some time, right? Like I had everything in here. Like look at like it started with all these notes. And then I take all these bullet points and the things that I want to do. And then uh all this. So you get all your stuff that you want, things that look cool, and then you scale it from there. And it's just like this happened so much faster. And it's coming together a lot faster than if I were to just try to piece all this together. So, big fan of like getting my ideas out because otherwise I'd be all over the place. Like even game jams, I'd get a Kanban board and I plan everything out. Started doing that in little doses. You write things, but usually in loose collections. Yeah. That's why I like ClickUp because you can like keep all your documents together. It gets a little slow the bigger the project gets though. The past couple of game jams, you finally put together images like I showed. Oh man, PureRef. This PureRef app is amazing. Like, it takes a little bit to load this one because I have a lot of images in here. But like, I can put all of my reference art. I can put just like everything that I need. Like, this has all my base characters, like where I got all my character designs from. Expressions. I can save all this kind of stuff. And then like the art style I wanted to go for, just having like a mood board is huge. And this thing is like infinite. Like look how high quality this is. It's amazing. Wait, what? Code void, what? Got food poisoning in the water for drinking? Oh, it's disgusting. Did genuinely find it helped you keep a solid framework for the concept you wanted to make rather than chasing ideas. Oh, that's good. I'm glad because I feel like that's what helps me keep all of my like ideas and really what I want to do in check. Code points playing oxygen not included. Okay. I was like, all right, that's gross. Unfortunate. I haven't played that game. Did the same thing for the jam you did, planned all the things out, put them in the list. From there, you went through and organized it. Yeah, see? Look at that. I'm going to be a positive influence on the game dev community by telling everybody to take notes. So someone who's using different note apps for different things, do you find the compartmentalization of it useful? That's because I use Obsidian and has everything in one place. Do sometimes wonder if having an app for this or an app for that would be better. Yeah, Seto, I like to have different things for different things. Wait, hold on, what? How to make a nuke in game? Code void? I'll allow it. Oh wait. Okay, I permitted the term fuck it. Um, but yeah, like I normally have different apps. So like I like ClickUp to organize all my text and everything and all my ideas. I like Figma for like mocking things up and like really making like this is my UI and stuff, so it makes sense for me to do it like this. But then having PureRef for just a mood board and images, I think is important because then I can take those and put them other places. Like if it's just visuals I'm after, like getting these screenshots and putting them in PureRef, were very helpful to show me what I wanted. And then I can go back to my PureRef board, come into Figma, and I'm like, okay, this is my reference. So then I make something based off of that. But I would try to keep the number of apps that you're using to organize projects low because then you'll get app fatigue. Like the context switching and going in between things. I feel like that can just kind of drag you back down, and then you'll get more involved in like organizing than actually building the project, I feel. Now that's just me, of course. That's from experience. But normally I can probably do most of my stuff in ClickUp, especially since they've added all these different boards. They've got like Kanban, you can do calendars, lists. They've added whiteboards, so technically I can use this instead of PureRef. Um, you've got mind maps for planning things out, and then you can like integrate into like Figma. You can integrate into Google and YouTube and all that stuff. So I mean, technically I can use ClickUp for everything, but I use it mostly it's for like documents. And then of course you come in here and so you can see like my different progress for boards and stuff. So I've got tasks and subtasks. Help me keep track of things. And you can go into your board view and then you can drag those just like a Kanban board. You're thinking about concepts, so I'll look at images in X. So I'll look at images in X. Yeah, so it's more frame of thought changing to use the other apps. Right, yeah, I try to use them for their specialized purposes. So like if I'm doing this specific thing, I would use PureRef. If I'm doing this for mockups, I do Figma. If I'm organizing my thoughts, I go to ClickUp. And then I was going to try to organize things into like Google Drive and stuff, but I haven't even found myself in Google Drive at all. Other than doing my crafting materials. Which was important because those are all items in here. So I know it doesn't look like I have a bunch of stuff in here, but I really do. Like I've got all my companies, I've got all these items. So like each item has all this stuff. And I tried to do the assets as or resources in a table. The plugin doesn't even work anymore. So I'm still stuck going manually into these, which is kind of upsetting and a little sad. But yeah. Very sad. Okay. Projectile timer. So I've been trying to get into the habit of making my own connections. Projectile, timer, timeout. And then I'll connect this manually. I've been trying to do this. All right, it's on auto shot, I think. They're peeing in the water. Sorry, Code Void. I just read your message. Oh, bartender. Bartender. I get it. That's great. Thank you for the follow. That is awesome. I'm a huge fan of puns. Thank you for making my night. That is awesome. Welcome in. I hope you're enjoying the totally game dev stuff that I'm doing. They clean it up as you can mop it up. What? I'm gonna learn some editor scripting so you can make your own table plugin, Granger. Yeah, I've considered it, man, because like I need this. I need the table editor. I really do. Let's do find nearest enemy on the projectile and reset projectile timer. Yeah, 100%, and then jump in the editor coding rabbit hole. That's right. That's exactly why I haven't coded my own overlay. I know I could do it, right? I know it's not impossible, and I have ideas that could be implemented. But if I do that, I'm just gonna be coding overlays, and I do want to make games. It may not seem like it, but I do want to make games. I don't even know how to find the nearest enemy. Distance too. You actually love making editor tools in Unity? Yeah, Granger. You showed me some of the ones you made, dude. Like, it seems like a fun rabbit hole to go down. And I like making software, I like making websites and stuff. So, tooling, yeah, I can see myself doing that. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen, I've made some tools for Game Maker, and these like package scripts that you can like add to your projects, like a loot box, simple crafting system, RPG chat, that Destiny HUD that's really cool. Has like the parallax. I did advanced like item hovers and stuff. Like these are all things that you can add on to your game maker projects. So I've don't tempt me. You'll fall into the urge eventually. Oh yeah, for sure. Seto. I don't think that I won't do it. Did I say that right? Yeah. Like especially if that table plugin doesn't come back. It's open source. Don't make me take that code and figure out how to work it. It'd be nice if they just picked it back up and fixed it. All right. Distance to enemy position. Just gonna bring this over here. Forgive me for I'm about to have to do a Geneva checklist. What? And about to attempt it in the game? You trying to make world peace? Oh, the opposite. Oh, gotcha. The opposite of it. Oh, I need an enemy. I need to get a list of enemies. Gotta see what. I don't think I put them in a group. Okay. Let's make a function to do this. Because I might need this for other abilities. It's gonna need to return base enemy, maybe. Okay. So I'm hoping that this person's code works. I don't really. Yeah, I probably should do a min distance. It's like 1200. Um, enemy, enemy. Oh, I had it copied already. Okay, and then for enemy and enemies, we're gonna get the distance. Enemy equals position dot distance 2, and then we want enemy dot position. I feel like this needs to be global position. Can I do this? If distance to enemy is distance min distance equals distance to enemy, and then the return enemy equals enemy. And then we'll return the return enemy. Sounds right. Print nearest enemy. I should just delete that nearest enemy. No, wait, I'll just see if this works. All right. Why is it an enemy character test? Get out of here. We don't need your code anymore. And this is why I need a save and load option for the player. What is this? Enemy is shadowing an already declared one? 172? Oh. Oh, okay. All right, all right. That's right. Okay, let's do for near enemy. Near enemies. Enemies does not look like a word to me anymore, and that's getting scary. So the distance to enemy, yes, yes, yes. I don't like that it lets me work on the game while it's still running. I don't know if it's gonna like save it or not. Hold up. The timer didn't stop. Hey Mars, what's up? How you doing? Just working on Rise of the Intern. Doing the old game dev grind. I shared your game earlier. I hope you're not mad. Start spelling it anemones. No, Fuzzy. That's what it looks like to me right now. You spelled it correctly. It's so scary. Trying to decide what to work on. Yeah, I mean, we got a perfect little setup here. I'm actually working on code, so we can co-work together. Um, how'd your game jam go? I played a little bit on stream, and let me tell you, pretty cool, man. I was surprised when the modifier started dropping and stuff. I didn't expect you to make so much progress on that. And you published it, and you're like, oh, I need to finish stuff. I didn't expect you to like add that much more. It was pretty cool. The only feedback I have is that it was really hard using my mouse to move stuff back and forth. Um, which I get, but like in windowed mode, it makes it really difficult. Like you're gonna be like going back and forth and it like goes out of the window. But other than that, everything did pretty decent. What, Granger, you're taking some time off? Oh hell yeah, everybody's taking time off. Nobody's gonna be working next week. Nobody's working until the next year. Well, yeah, from the day job, obviously. It's like I'm taking some time off from the day job, but you bet your ass I'm gonna be working on stuff. It'd be kind of like therapy. Is it not starting this timer? Come on. Oh, don't worry about it. Thought I had it turned on. Work on my stuff for a change. Hell yeah, dude. That's what I'm gonna. Well, I do get the opportunity to work on my own stuff. Like that's why I'm redesigning Average Game Studio. But uh, I don't think I've ever worked on my game during the day. It's gonna be new. Oh, it worked. No, what did it take me to? Vector 2. It worked. We got our character looking at enemies. Cool beans. All right. So we need to go back to our projectile. We need to go to here. Var. Let's do target. Target equals null. I think this can be a position, a vector 2. Vector 2 dot. I'm out before I say some unhinged shit because of this game. All right, Code Void. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you. I'm gonna have to play that game so I understand some of your references on it because the game sounds quite interesting. And I've heard, I think some people play it before, so I'll have to give it a shot. But thank you for hanging out. Appreciate you. It's a colony sim. I've been looking for a good strategy game. I want a strategy game. Got any recommendations for that? Addictive. You'll see once you get playing. Okay. I have a lot of games that I just got. I think I actually did get some strategy games, but there's like a charity bundle, not on Humble Bundle, but a charity bundle that had a ton of games. It had Dungeons and Degenerate Gamblers on it too, which is such a fun game. I played that before it was on Steam. Really should just use the connected ones, but like this is so much easier. Look at that. It's already connected. Right? All right. How would I get this to go to a target? Wait. Okay, you can't. So this is just the root. So if I drag this over here, oh, interesting. I need to connect it. Wait a second. Area. Oh, it's already a signal because it's the base of it. Oh. I was just curious how that worked. Eh? Nice. Okay. Uh, so when it spawns in, we want the target to be set. Is initialize a function? Go to the initialize function. Yeah, there's no function for initializing. So we want direction vector 2. Want the speed, float, and we want the damage. I don't have any movement variables on here. Okay, I think these need to be just regular variables. I'm not creating different projectiles. These are going to get set from the player, I believe. Target speed, damage. I guess the target. Do target direction. So this will allow us to set all these variables. We want speed. We want damage. Why not? Oops. Animation player. Wait, why didn't it add a reset? Hmm. Oh, okay, there we go. Does it work if I just rotate? I think I have to do the whole thing. I haven't done a rotation. It's like if I do it like this and then set it back to here, is this gonna make it rotate? It's just gonna make it. Is that a nerd mug projectile? Yes, it is. How you doing, next Prodigy? Welcome in. Yeah, this is a nerd mug from Key of the Board Warrior. How do I make it rotate in a full circle? I'm doing awesome. I'm looking forward to some time off from work to work on a project. We were all just talking about how we're taking vacations to work on our personal projects and stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. But I'm doing pretty good. I've been a little bit stressed and busy, but um, with an end in sight, it's good. Makes me feel good. But yeah, I've been hit with some big projects that just kind of took a lot of time, and yeah, not used to that at the end of the year, which is good. It's good. Don't get me wrong. I'm a freelance web developer, so it is good. But I definitely need some time off before next year. You're excited for me? Well, thank you, Seto. Yeah, I know we talked about in your stream a little bit. It is some needed time. Like I don't really take time off. Like I've been freelancing for years, and I take off maybe a week out of the year. But I like my job. I love what I do. I love making websites. It's a passion of mine. It was actually, if you believe it, it was a hobby before it became a profession. So I definitely love doing it, but damn, does it get tiring. The burnout is real, especially when you're designing and building. But again, just like game dev, like doing indie game dev and solo dev and stuff, a lot of my projects are I get to, like you've seen here, I get to design them and then I get to develop them. And so I get to do like some of the creative work, I get to do some of the coding, the critical thinking on like, like these little things here. It's like, oh, I designed this. And then when you hover over it, it expands. Like, oh, how am I going to do that? So it's fun to like come up with those concepts and stuff and then execute them just like making a game. But yeah, burnout for sure. Working for yourself kind of makes it too easy to never stop. Yeah. I have to like I was working all day and then I would work in the evenings after dinner for a very long time. And that's just how it was. I was just trying to keep up with all my projects. You started out on web design in 2006. Nice. Yeah, I started professionally probably 2014. And then I started working for myself, I think in 2019, 2018. But I've been making websites since I was like 11, Notepad, making HTML sites and stuff. My first ever website was called worldofthanogamesentertainment.com. Oh my gosh, I wish the archive had that website on it because it was a masterpiece. Totally. It was simpler times back then, yeah. You really get the awesome combo of all these different layers of experience intersecting, man. It's inspiring to see you make me. It makes me want to get more structured. Oh, thank you, Seto. Well, I mean, I've never been diagnosed with anything, but it definitely helps me by bouncing between projects and getting to work on so many different things. It entertains me. It's fun, keeps me out of trouble. Yeah, staying out of trouble is very important. I can agree. Idle hands are the devil's playthings or whatever they say. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. Ah, how do you make it rotate in a full circle? Would it be easier just to rotate it through code? Your first website was probably a Sonic fan site. See, I was making games before I was making websites, and so I had this grand idea that I was gonna make an MMORPG called World of Thano. Um, Needless to say, that ended before it started. Did a web design on Coffee Cup. What? You did a web design on Coffee Cup back in 2008? What's that? Built an internal website for your company with data needed for production. I hated it. Web design's not your thing. I mean, it definitely it's a lot better. Like I use WordPress. Now granted there's a drama between, with WordPress stuff right now, but that doesn't stop the tools from being cool. But I mean like if I was doing like React and applications and stuff, I definitely wouldn't be building the amount of sites that I build because it definitely takes a lot of time. Like WordPress enables me to like get through projects pretty fast though. Coffee cup. Oh shit! Coffeecup.com, professional web development tools. No shit. I've never heard of this, man. Better than Legos. Wow. Yeah, I've never heard of this. That's pretty cool. Coding is optional. Yeah, see that's like what WordPress is at this point. It's a lot of drag and drop these days. Depending on how it interpolates, might be easier to code it. That's what I'm thinking. Um, you know, maybe I don't know how to Google anymore, but I feel like none of these are giving me what I'm wanting, right? Animate, rotate, 360 maybe? Like, am I getting worse at Googling things or is Google getting terrible at Googling things? I don't know. It might also be because I don't know what keywords I'm looking for when I'm doing new projects and stuff. It was free back in the day? Oh, okay, that makes sense, yeah. Usually when you start out making websites and it's not like you don't know what you're doing, you have to go for free stuff. Like, otherwise you're just wasting money. You're gonna get your certs in web design. Then I had to drop out and get a retail job. No, Seto. It's okay. If it helps at all, I don't have a degree in web design or anything. And I've been making websites professionally my whole life. But really the past 10 years, like actually making money with it. Started by making charity websites. Yeah. Yeah, no, my degree is in game design. So I'm all self-taught in that field and evidence my you don't need certs philosophy is not without grounds. I think we talked about that, Seto. Like we have a strong opinion and like I don't there's certain things you do need a degree for. But there's a lot of things you don't need a degree for. Like I would want my doctor to have a degree and experience, right? Like that's what the residency is for. That's what all the training is for, the tests. But for like somebody building a website, unless I'm selling something, like if it's just a portfolio website that somebody's building for me, you don't really need security and all that stuff. Like, you don't have to know everything about it. Now, granted, you do learn that stuff as you build, especially when you get DDoSed. Built an Excel spreadsheet on steroids that the company used for coding program. Hell yeah, Mars. I did that same thing for my business. I started out by making spreadsheets to calculate things. I did it for like time tracking, quoting, bids, invoicing, and then I actually just started paying for software. Yeah, man, I don't know if Google is the issue here or not, or if it's me. I've never done tweens. I've never done tweens. This is Bernardo's alley. Used to do blogspot designs for a lot of girls. It was a thing back then. Everyone had a blog. Yeah. I mean, that's still kind of a thing. Like WordPress's default is blog. Do an affiliate blog, start making money, hawking products. Some things sell with skill and proof of work more than proof of background and knowledge and academic proof. Stedo, not once has a client ever asked me for my degree. I mean, granted, I have a portfolio and a website and everything to show off what I can do, but yeah, I've never, they're not like, what's your GPA? Oh man. All right, Godot, 2D, animation player, rotate. Yeah, that's on me. Rotate 360. No, that's not right. This is player input, smoothly face the direction, 3D degree animation, 360 while aiming, 360 movements. You see what I have to deal with? I'm just gonna do it until it happens. This isn't necessary. I should go back to coding. All right, hear me out. What if I do this? Oh, crap. No. Okay. I gotta change this value. What's value 6069? What is that? I don't know what that is. Tweens are tricky when you're trying to figure them out. I'm gonna have to figure out tweens for some of the animations in this. Great design, Mr. Gubathy. Do you have a certification for that? No. Mr. Gubathy. Oh my gosh. That is a great name. Gubathy. They call me Gubathy. Perfect. It's rotating perfectly. There, helped install and implement our ERP system. That's what you got into being an IT manager for the company I worked at the time. Never had an IT manager, and they created the position for me. Everybody needs an IT manager, including the companies in Rise of the Intern. His name's Art. Their name's Art. They're mysterious. The ERP we had gave you access to 90% of the base code to modify, so you learned VB.net to write mods for the program. I wrote all my software in Mars. When I first started coding software and stuff, I used VB.net. Absolutely loved it. It was such an easy language to get into. Godot, GD script kind of reminds me of it. I love applying standard name endings to usernames. Goobity. I've used Goobamus before. Never went to school for anything, you just learned on your own. Yeah, I shouldn't have gone to school for game design. Still paying for it like 12 years later. And I was already making games, so I don't know why I went to school for it. I thought maybe because I was going to get a job in it. That's actually probably what it was. There's something off about this. Why? I feel like there's no curves here. Something's missing. Just gonna delete this. How do I delete it? How do I delete it? Oh, it's right here. Don't feel like you picked up any helpful techniques and workflows? Yeah, I could make a game in Unreal Development Kit. Let's see, when did Unreal Engine 4 come out? Okay. I graduated college February 2014. Right right before this new game engine came out and revolutionized the Unreal scene. I was so upset. I just kept going with Game Maker. Can I do you guys see it? Do you guys do you see it? I'm just gonna do it through code. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. I'll figure out rotation animation later. Yeah, Game Maker was great, and I still like Game Maker, but like Godot's letting me do so much more with the UI. It would have been like I wouldn't have even thought about switching to Godot if Game Maker had a good UI system, but there's just I feel like my web development skills transferred over to Godot. So that's why I've stuck with Godot. I was willing to learn a whole new language. All right. So my Google skills are deteriorating, but at least I can make things rotate through code. Okay. This is the chatbot. Don't feel like working on games. A little burned out after the game jam. Yeah, Mars. It's game jams are draining, dude. Especially if you're doing the shorter ones. You may not realize it, but like your brain is just going ham trying to think of everything and trying to do it within that time. Like you definitely take some time, like even if it's a week or two, recharge before you work on your next project or something, consume. You need a consumption period. Things to recharge you that you don't have to like think about stuff. Like I've been playing classic WoW and I've been watching lots of movies and TV shows. Really just TV shows actually. I've watched Mythic Quest, I've watched Loot, I've watched dang it, what is it called? Shrinking? It's all on Apple TV. Apple TV Plus. Just consuming the hell out of some good content. Um Severance, I think I've talked about it, like, all these shows, they're just recharging me, and you gotta take that time off, otherwise, the burnout will last even longer. take my word from it. My burnout has lasted. I don't know if you guys know, but I've only streamed like twice in the past like this month. My burnout is real. That's what Megs was saying wishes she used UE5 and Godot's UI system. Oh yeah, I wish Unreal Engine had Godot's UI system. I wish everything had Godot's UI system. I'd probably use Unity if it had Godot's UI system, and I'd go learn C# instead. Did the coffee stay in the cup due to the amount of I can't even say that word. Centrifugal. Centrifugal. I got it in the end. Centrifugal force that spin. Yeah, the spin, it's just in there forever now. I slowed it down. Look at it. I slowed it down. And it's still staying in there. Still you can't wait to meet Warren. Oh, don't worry, Mars. There's gonna be some good characters coming out of this. Including the one you helped come up with. I need to get to drawing and stuff again too. Start like bringing stuff in. I'm gonna put these above this. Been letting yourself play Path of Exile 2 to shut off. Can vouch for consumption time. I like that wording too. I don't remember where I got it. Maybe GPT when I was like, hey, I feel kind of shitty for not doing these things. And it's like, it's okay to have consumption periods. I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, it is. But I think I've used it from therapy a long time ago too. Because I've been creative most of my life. So I've felt burnout most of my life. And it's important. It's important to consume media. Like you can't make games without experience in life too. So maybe your consumption period can be going to the theater and like plays and going to dinner, people watching, go to the mall, walk around, like things like that can be considered a consumption period too, where you're taking in life that kind of helps recharge you, going for like micro adventures, right? Take some time to explore, go out into the woods, on a trail, marked trail. Uh go to the park, just get away from whatever it is you're trying to work on, and usually you'll come back recharged, ready to work on it again. I haven't even played Path of Exile 2. That to me though, that doesn't I feel like I'd get too stressed playing that game. I played one. It was pretty good though. You feel burnout with work. You always get that way this time of year. I think everybody does too. Like the end of the year, everybody's trying to push to get their budgets pushed out, and they're trying to like spend the rest of their marketing dollars, and everybody's like trying to get stuff done, but nobody wants to work, and so it just becomes stressful. You get the 23rd through the 1st. Yeah, me too. Hell yeah, Mars. We'll all recharge together. I'm probably going to stream during that time, but also work on my game offline. I'm getting stressed, but it's about a game. So the energy expenditure is welcome. Yeah, that's fair. I think when I was playing Valorant or CSGO, I'd get really stressed, but like, I didn't feel stressed. Okay. You're playing hardcore. Jeez. No, I can't do that. Forcing yourself to fully focus on the game more effectively. 8 times. Yeah, I can't do that. I was thinking like, oh, I should play hardcore classic WoW, and I was like, why? I don't hate myself that much. I feel like there's so much time goes into that. Like I played one of my characters recently. Um, I have like 2 days of gameplay on him, and like I would have died 5, 6 times already. There's no way. There's no way I could have done hardcore. All right. I don't think I'm gonna have this change. I think I'm just gonna have him shoot. Wait a second. There's a function called rotate. What? Get rotated. No shit, right? Oh my gosh, there actually is. There's a rotate function. The Godot docs, let me tell you. Let me tell you. Read the docs. Is this, what does this say? It's a vector 2. Okay. Yeah, it sure is here. I'm always amazed by how fast and accessible the docs are in Godot. I know, right? And like, I do this in, oh, it may not be offline mode now, but I had this in offline mode and it like downloads everything. So you can literally build a game offline. But it's so nice. Like if I need to figure out what global position is, you can also see the setters and getters for it and stuff. I mean, like granted, that's a really basic one. Like physics process, you can find out what goes into the physics process just by going in here, and then you can, delve into different things here. And the docs are so good. I think I'm gonna set this to the direction it's being thrown at. Angle, not direction. I like this song. From Mario Kart? Awesome. All right, and then when it enters a body, we want to queue free it. And then I think we want to queue free it when it's done here. Uh, Noida is a weird game. What's Noida? Ooh. Oh, speaking of which, Noida reminded me, I've actually got a sponsored stream coming up next week. Serenity Forge is sponsoring with a game, so I'm gonna do a little gameplay. I'm gonna be doing Hold up, we gotta figure out what it's called. Death's Gambit, I think. Yeah, Death's Gambit. Give me a sec here. So it's nothing like huge. I know the owner, the CEO of Serenity Forge, no big deal. But where is it? Death's Gambit, yeah, right here. So yeah, I'm gonna be playing through Death's Gambit, doing a little bit of gaming. I said that I liked Elden Ring, and he let me pick one of the games that I wanted to play, and he said, "Yeah, here you go." And he said, "Let me know what you think." So I will be playing Death's Gambit sometime next week. I know it's Christmas next week, so I'll work around that schedule. But I think it'll be fun. It looks cool, and he didn't say I couldn't say anything bad, right? It looks sick though. So, huge advocate for indie game devs. They publish a lot of indie games, and this is one of those. Oh, it looks cool. Anyways, so yeah, we'll be doing that. Yeah, Noida kind of remind me of that. Thanks, Seto. I hope so too. Playing indie games always like hypes me up for working on my own game because it's like, oh, I could do that. Should I be worried that Noida says I have 0 FPS? Yes. Did it crash? I would be worried. It's still playing just fine? Oh, then it might just be bugged. Alright, how do I spawn? I forgot how to spawn projectiles. Hey, you survived for 9 minutes. That seems like a short time. I don't know though. I've never played the game. The game's ruthless. What's it about? I just saw some screenshots of it. I didn't actually see what it was. Oh, I need to actually add the projectile scene. Um, eh. Yeah, I can add the projectile scene. I'm getting to the point where I'm gonna have to start filtering. I barely played. I have no idea what I'm doing. That sounds about right for most things, most games that I play. Even after 20 hours, I'm just like, I'm figuring it out. You remember Powder game from back in the day? Powder? No. Wand crafting and every pixel is physics simulated. Oh, I think I watched Pirate Software play Noida. And it's like 2D platformer, like Terraria style, and like everything was destructible. Lots of ways to accidentally die, get melted in various substances. Okay. People were voting on crazy effects. Yeah, okay, yeah, I've seen it. I've seen that. Okay, so I have seen it. Dang, that game is intense. It's very pixelated. Did people guide me on stream and play it for a while and still barely understand how to stay alive? So it was impressive what he was doing then. I need to add this to the scene. Can I just... I'll just do that. Add child. Oh. What is current scene? Oh, I didn't... Huh. Does this matter? I've never worked on multiple scenes. Everything's on fire. This might be bad. No, you're good. You're good. Stay moist. Yeah, that game looks chaotic. Too lazy to retype it. Okay. Nearest enemy dot global position. And I'm just gonna test this projectile speed and damage. Can I? Sure. I'll do 5 and then player stats dot. Whoever created this game's a masochist. Well, I mean, traditionally indie game devs make the games that they wish they had. So take that with whatever grain of salt. You find it fascinating because it's super secretive and hidden knowledge-y? Interesting. So like is it randomly generated levels? Is that why it's interesting? There's map regions for core biomes, but yeah, otherwise RNG. Okay. I may have to give that one a shot. Do it. Throw a coffee mug. Okay, I don't think he's throwing coffee mugs. Oops. Oh, I probably have to set the position, huh? Yeah. And then we'll do a random direction maybe. Does it have a direction? Target direction. Only 6 minutes? Dang, those are short rounds, dude. So I'm assuming you don't get to keep things between the different sessions. Hey, developer Ezra, what up? Wow, long time no see, man. How you doing? I'm not gonna lie, I almost lurked on your stream. I would have been a second rater. That, yeah, how's it going, man? I saw that you're starting to work on another game jam. Why are you doing this to yourself? Your last project was so good. How are things? How have things been? Thank you for the raid. And we've got an ad break coming in, 1 minute and 40 seconds as tradition for raids. So welcome in, raiders. I'm the average goob. I'm a professional web developer and hobbyist game designer. I'm making a game right now called Rise of the Intern. It's a 2D survivors-like RPG. I use RPG loosely, and it's based in a corporate world. So I'm actually working on ranged enemies right now. I've got mostly the title screen. I've got the different characters. I've got your distribution for points. I've got character customization, skin tone, hairstyles, face, shirt, pants, shoes, or you can just randomize everything. We've got different companies, and then we've got some basic survivors like gameplay going on right now. So I have a lot to do. And you can see that I've broken things, so that's fun. Oh, you've been taking a break because you were moving. Congrats on the move. Hopefully it wasn't a bad move. I used to like moving. Now I've been in the same place for too long. Need to need to find that next destination, the starter home, if you will. You decided to hop on the Godot Wild Jam. Ooh, fun. It's a monthly 9-day jam, but you decided to start it 3 days left. Oh man, that's starting so late into a jam. But those are my jams, right? Like I like the 48 hours. That's awesome though. Well, welcome back. I'm glad you're hopping in. And we've got an ad break coming in. Ooh, you got RTS. Dang. I'd be curious. I'd be curious to see that when you get that done. I don't know if you can hear me, but once you get that submitted, I'd love to check it out. See what you got done in 3 days. I love the projects you're working on, man. Gotta get that clip for your devlog. Oh yeah, yeah, I'll play it. I'll play it on stream for you when it's done. All right, throw a mug at him. Come on, throw a mug. Oh, hang on. It hit me. Hang on. I know what happened. I saw it. I saw it spawn, and I saw it hit my body. Let's do if body is player enemy. Come on, throw the mug. Okay. Why is it considering me an enemy? I'm not an enemy. Hey, yeah, Mars. I did play your game. And I gave my opinion on stream. I said I was very impressed with how much you got done for your first game jam. Um, sorry, I'm distracted. I don't think it's destroying because of me. But yeah, for your first game jam and like the constraints that you had and stuff, like I thought it was really good. I told everybody that they should play or make brick break games as one of their first games if they're getting into game dev. I said it's a good challenge. And I really liked that you added the different like drops from the blocks. The sound effects were good. It felt like you had a feature complete game. The only issue I had was the fact that the player was controlled by the mouse because in windowed mode it kind of drags it out. It was like dragging it out of the window, which was kind of difficult. But otherwise, yeah, that was fun. I mean, it played pretty good. I guess another complaint would be when the ball comes down, depending on where the paddle is, where it is on the paddle and the direction of the ball. I felt like it just continued to go in whatever direction the ball was already heading instead of like reversing direction, which would have been cool, but that's not really necessary. Like if the ball was coming down from the right side and I hit it on the right side, it'd be cool if it went back that way or whatever. But um everything played pretty good. Mouse has been the biggest complaint. I think it's because we're not used to it. It was intuitive though. It made sense, but I feel like the mouse needed to be locked into the game if it was going to be using the mouse. I don't even know how you could do that, to be honest. It was like you'd have to like force full screen or something. But yeah, no, I enjoyed it, man. I think you did a great job on it. And no pun intended, but I can see why you're probably burned out. You put a lot of work into it. Yeah, I don't think you can do that in a browser game. Hmm. Areas never used. I mean, technically, we don't really need this function right now. Oh. Keys in the browser, that can be done. No. Chief Multi-Hat, welcome in, by the way. Locking the mouse into the window from the browser. Because the game in question, I can actually pull it up here. Copy link. Hang on, I got this. I got this. So whenever you hit run game, we're talking about having this. So like when you're playing, it's connected to the mouse's position, but you can see my mouse goes out off the screen. And so it makes it kind of hard, but it's also it's not that bad. Like you kind of know where your mouse is based on the position. So like I didn't beat it, but I got pretty far when I played the first version of this. But some of the challenge is the fact that this is kind of like hard to control and like you don't want to get those. I don't know if those are power-ups are good. I didn't read it, but I just try to avoid them. Okay, I died. Yeah, no, for sure. A brick break game like this, the keys are way too slow and you almost do need a mouse. But again, like locking it. Oh, it did go the other way. Oh, Mars, you did it. No, you fixed my complaint. I just didn't test it on this new version. Yeah, no, this game's great. I could play Brick Break for hours. I'm also really good at it. And has pause. Anyways, if anybody wants to play it, this is Mars's game in chat. We are filled up with game developers in the chat. I love it. So motivating. Still working on your other spacefaring game. I would love to know what your progress on that is, Ezra. I think that was a cool game. Needed a short project to reset and come back. Yeah. Long-term projects need that. I know you gave yourself a month to make it, but I think that was not enough time for the level of project you had. You like my CRT filter? Thank you. I didn't make it myself, but it added to the project. I tweaked the settings. Tweaked the settings myself. But thank you. I feel like it's adding to the actual gameplay. Did you see the mug spawn? Okay, the mugs are spawning. What's happening? Is this the right... Did I name it correctly? Yeah. And the description list of the power-ups, yeah, I saw that after I played it. I saw one made it smaller. Some of the scope creep. There's some scope creep as you try to finalize. Oh yeah. That's why you do a game design document. You don't have to like stick to everything in the game design document, but it does help with scope creep for sure. Fun part was working out how to create the multi-ball. You had to rack all the balls in the end of the game and ball into the kill zone. Oh yeah. So you have to track like you have to make sure you don't have the player lose if only one ball goes out. That makes sense. So you want to be able to customize the ship structure. Of course, customization is very important for players. I feel like that's one thing I've tried to do in my projects, and like this is the only one that has full customization. And even then, I don't think I did it correctly because it's all like bones, and the way these are set up, they're entire sprites. So everything is like that entire bounding box, and I think I need to redo it. I think I need to figure out what Bernardo did from Two Nerdy Nerds, and like he cut out the sprites and then put like an origin point on them. So I need to redo the character sprite setup, which is going to be annoying, but I think necessary. Felt fun and needed a little amp up. Oh, you felt the fun of the scope creep stuff, yeah. That's why it's scope creep. Hey, what's going on, Yogi? How you doing? Never got into doing skeleton. I don't even need skeleton animations, I don't think. Like, basically, all this does is it allows me to do inverse kinesmatics and stuff, but I'm not even doing it. So technically, I thought I needed this to do, like, the customization. It's like you set all your sprites, and then you do all of your animation on the bones. So, like, if you go to my animation player, like, the head bone is where the animation is. And so you've got remote transforms, and then if you modify like these, then it takes everything with it. But if you have it hierarchical organized or whatever, then it's going to move with it anyways. So this was overkill for what I'm doing. Let's rotate. It's like it is overkill. Like I don't need skeletons to do these basic animations. So I think I just wanted to practice it in case I ever did get to that point. Not great. That's not good to hear. Today, for the first time, your mom's dementia adventure, she didn't recognize me. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks, man. I don't really have anything to say to that. I other than I'm sorry to hear that. I can't imagine how that must feel. I'm sorry. Well, I mean, I hope at least you get to spend some time with her and maybe, over time you can help her relearn you a little bit. I know it's going to keep resetting based on that, but oh man, that sucks. On the brighter side, you'll be able to use on other projects. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know how to set up the skeletons now, but Bernardo proved to me that I probably don't need to. So I gotta actually ask him how he set his up so I can do it for mine. Yeah, I'm sorry, Yogi. Life just got harder for sure. Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, at least you can be there for her. Somebody to care for her is probably what she needs. Definitely makes my coding struggle a little less here, but trying to work on getting my nearest enemy whenever this mug spawns for it to go to the enemy, but it's not doing that. I'm not sure why. Oh, it's because I have equals plus instead of plus equals. No way. All right, see if that works. Oh, geez, the mug went the wrong direction, but it spawned. Oh, yeah, it's definitely spawning them. Um, hmm. Feel like maybe just equals. Bartender, did I make the art really good characters? Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm hand drawing everything. So I've designed everything like UI wise in Figma. I did the logo in Illustrator, and then yeah, all these characters, I made them in Procreate. So thank you, I appreciate that. I started learning digital art this year. I actually learned back in April. No, yeah, March, April. I started doing digital art. Um, and so it's a slow progress. I actually have one of my other games. So there's actually progress here on the games that I've been making. So this was my first game that I did with Illustrator art, like as much detail as I possibly could. So I did, it was all Illustrator. It's all just basic shapes and pen tool. And then Key the Board Warrior was my first hand-drawn game. So it was a little goofy, but it was fun. And I everything, like I have a YouTube channel that has all the videos on here, showing all of this too. And then I kept a blog about my journey in actually making this. So I show everything from like the animation, the character art. I went through and I did courses on stream. So you can see my progress of characters. But I had fun. I had fun doing it, and I'm still, building out that skill. And then my latest game, Alchemist, was my next hand-drawn game. And so it was a little bit more static assets and stuff, but I did everything hand-drawn here too. All the potions hand-drawn, ships, the cannonballs, little islands, the enemies and stuff. All of it was hand-drawn, but thank you, I appreciate that. Thank you, Rev Legend. And welcome in. First time chat to tell me my art looks cool. Thank you. I mean, it's original, right? So that's something. Even if it looked bad, like at least I'm working on it. I don't think it looks terrible. Like I think good art is just art that portrays what you're trying to make it portray. And then even then the lines are blurry because like I used to do abstract art and I'm like, that looks fine to me. I know what I'm trying to do. Okay. I broke something. Okay, so now it's not actually going anywhere. Okay, we don't need it to plus equals here. Oh, standard pointer. Thank you for the follow. Was not ready for that sound. Welcome in. How you doing this evening? You want to keep Brick Breaker and use it as a break game when I want to take a break from my other games, go and tweak and add levels and improve it, add boss fights? Mars, that's a great idea. I keep going back to Alchemist and I'm like, I could just add a level to it. I could just got like that addiction once you build out a game. That's how I found you. I was looking for everyone who was streaming that game jam. The Alchemist one, the pirate software one, or the Learn You a Game Jam? Because I feel like, okay, the Alchemist one. Wow, I feel like you've been here for so much longer, Mars. You just become part of the community real fast. Good. What about you? I'm doing great, Standard Pointer. I'm just working on Rise of the Intern, my little survivors like RPG. I have spent all stream trying to build out a projectile, and now I have it spawning, but it's not going anywhere. So I gotta figure out what's going on with that. And it could be just that... Wait a second. Hold on. Direction? Wait a second. I think I figured it out. Just talking to you about this problem helped me. You just rubber duck debugged with me. Thank you. Even though I didn't fully say what I was gonna say. Okay, so how do I get the direction? Oh, maybe I didn't. Hold on. It definitely needs a direction. So we want the target direction, and then I think this needs to go here. Right? So now you get a percentage of sales. Listen, I don't know how that works. I think, I don't, it's a good question. No. If somebody helped in chat on a game and somebody sells it, it's unsolicited, right? Like I didn't ask, even if I asked for the help, that is such a weird, interesting concept. Like, I don't think you would, right? Oh, that's weird. Unsolicited in a public forum. Yeah, it is weird. Like if I made a game on stream and everybody helped with like a piece of code at some point, would they be entitled to compensation for it? Wow, you bring in the hard questions. Welcome in. Spawning is better than nothing. That's what I'm saying. I gotta figure out why it's not going though. And I keep skipping over this. This is my character customization screen. I spent like a month building this. All right. There's full customization here. You want to have all your stuff in workload capacity? You can do it. You want to have your character look however you want? We've got that. Hair, face. And I'm going to be adding a lot more hair, face, shirt, pants, and stuff. These were just the initial characters so that I would quit working on the interface. And then we've got some companies here. My favorite is In Beta Forever Inc. So meta. Oh, okay, the coffee mug. At least go. It's not even going to the closest enemy. Just shooting down. Now Goob's going to put a disclaimer on starting stream screen. Yeah, I don't even know how that works. Because like it was never a problem, but it's like I do want to sell this game, right? Just make all my games for free from now on. Put everybody in the credits. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that works. You're gonna get a lawyer now. I'm like Mole once I join and become part of you, and you can't getting rid of me requires surgery. Mars, it takes me one button to get rid of you. Did you or a loved one help a Twitch streamer develop a game? You may be entitled to compensation. Hold on, we have a law firm. We have a law firm called Greedy and Greedier. We can call Greedy and Greedier and get them on here. Coffee breaks are considered pro bono work. You always needed a lawyer. Yeah, yeah. Interesting when you start thinking about that kind of stuff. This shit looks really nice. Thank you. I'm glad. I put a lot of work into that stuff. And I like built it in Figma. So I use Figma for my UI work because it translates over to Godot like one for one. Like Godot's UI builder is so nice. And so I still have like I've got to build out the options menu. I've got to build out upgrade menu, the HUD for the game, the task log. I got to do a talents and skills setup too. All right, let me figure this out. Should I move this from the physics process? The Nintendo patent's a nuisance. Hold my beer. Chat is now entitled to your house because you stream from your house and chat participates, therefore are granted a timeshare. Oh my gosh. I couldn't even imagine. Oh, you're just like, all right, I'm Airbnb-ing now. Welcome everybody in chat. Every time you say Figma, I hear Ligma. Never grew past 13. Figma balls. Every time, yeah. I think of the Thanos snap. What's Ligma? uh we're just a bunch of goobs. Alright. Global position, target direction. Target direction, vector 0. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Let me see when this spawns in. Let me print out the value. Bear like lion would say debug. Did you say goobs? Hey Granger, thanks for the 10 biddies to make a giant goob emote. Wow, that is the biggest goob I've ever seen. Oh. Why is it going that way? Thank you for the hydrate. We drink bat juice here. Stays hydrated. Until I get like an actual drink sponsor, it's just bat juice. I told that joke to the wife, and then my preteen son was flabbergasted. Big my balls. Man, if I was a kid when all these memes came out, I would have been what they call brain rot. Because holy cow, I think those things are funny now. Okay, there's probably something in my get nearest enemy code. um he wasn't supposed to hear me, but I should have known. I mean, if you say something out loud, let me tell you. I heard everything my dad said on the other side of the house. It's just how it happens. I don't even know what. Okay, I need to print out nearest enemy dot global position. Am I not? Hold on, am I not getting this correct? I think that's what I'm doing wrong here. I need to do var direction 2. I don't know. This needs to be nearest enemy. No, I need to take this global position. That's what it is. I'm not actually getting it. I know what the issue is. Global position dot distance 2. And then we want, where is it? Nearest enemy dot global position. This has got to be it. If this isn't it, then I quit. All right, I bugged something. Cannot convert argument 1 to vector float. Oh, I need it to be a vector. Okay, hold on. That's just the distance. I need the direction. Let's see. Oh, I need to subtract. Okay, never mind. That's my bad. I'm not quitting. Don't worry. Okay, I need to do the enemy position minus my position. and then normalize it. Or you gotta normalize it for like the oblique angles. I don't know what they're called right now. My brain is dead. It worked. It worked. Oh, it worked. Okay. I need to add a marker. Not a marker. And then this is gonna be projectile spawn. Do you guys hear that sound? Is that in the music? Okay, it was in the music. It sounded like a fire, like the fire smoke detector. Yeah, there it was. All right, we'll spawn it from the middle point here. All right. I may have to make him a little bit faster. I slowed him down because, you know, obvious reasons. Because this is going really fast. Okay, it's working. It's working. Okay. Do we have anything that affects projectile speed? Character stats. I could just do my move speed. We can make it based off of one of my stats. So like maybe your fitness. Based on your fitness and your workload capacity. Equals player stats dot workload capacity plus player stats dot, what did I say? What did I say? Fitness? Yeah, not cunning. Yeah. Fitness. Okay, so we'll take a combination of those. Do 1.2 times that. I don't know, let's just, I guess if these are 0, then it's always going to be that. So we'll make it at least 1, right? 1.2. Cool. All right, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna boost. Hey, Rev Legend, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Appreciate you. I'm just being a goob. What was it? Workload capacity? Yeah, and fitness. Okay. boost it. It should be really fast, right? 10 times 11. 11 speed. That's gonna be too fast. No, that's not fast. The fact that I can catch up to it is kind of sus. Okay, what if I did player stats dot move speed? Okay. And then they're also not disappearing. So I need to make sure, okay, they exist on, do I have projectiles? I guess the effects. Let's create a new one. Uh, 2D render, no. 2D physics. Projectiles. Okay. Lives on projectiles, does not check for anything. Can check for player and enemy. And tiles, I guess, if it runs into something. Nah, it doesn't need to. Okay. The base enemy checks projectiles, player, hitbox. Hitbox, there we go. Checks for projectiles, enemies, and effects. Base enemy. Checks for other enemies, tiles, and lives on the enemy. Yup. This hitbox checks for player, effects, projectiles. Should I make, does anybody know about like creating separate layers for enemy projectiles and effects versus the player ones? I guess would it be better to have those in different ones? Welcome in. I'm going to try this name. Rice Kademos, RQG. Welcome in. Thank you for the follow. What does Kademos mean? We stay. Possibly depends if you think they could collide. Well, I'm thinking like I don't want the enemy to check for like enemy particles and stuff, right? Like I want all enemies to put all their stuff in its own. So I should probably have this differently. So effect should be something else. So this should be player projectiles, enemy projectiles. I think that's a fair way to handle that. So then the enemies would check for the player projectiles and the player. The player's hitbox would only check for the enemy projectiles. I think. Yeah. Now, they don't live on those layers yet, right? So this projectile needs to look for, yeah, it lives on the player's projectile. So the player wouldn't hit it, right? And then I want it to check for enemies. All right, let's make sure it should collide with this guy and just get destroyed. Did you see how fast it went? Look at it go. All right, that's way too fast, of course, of course. Let's just do plus. Hey, thanks for the 10 biddies to make a giant goob goob. Appreciate that, Mars. I love that you guys give me giant goob goobs whenever I get a mechanic working. It motivates me. There we go. All right, so now I can never outrun them technically, and then the projectile speed is affected by like actual stats. Cool. The way you usually do it is that all projectiles are on its own layer, then you set the projectile to interact with either the player or the enemy. It just allows to set the projectiles to see what it affects. Well, yeah, because I guess this is a projectile base. So I could technically use this for other projectiles. But right now I'm just checking if it's colliding with an enemy. So these are like player projectiles. it I haven't like scaled a project big enough to know if this is gonna be an issue yet. But for now it's living on the player projectile. We'll see how it goes. I'll probably have them separate because they'll interact differently. I just copy and paste this code. No big deal. You can still use projectile base and then super, and I can super and override this function. Yeah, so I think I'm going to use these as bases, and then when I make new projectiles, then they would live on their own layers and then just take the same code. So I think I'm going to do it that way. Okay, now one last thing here is I need it to deal damage, right? So base enemy, we need to do body dot. Hold on, I have a function. This should work. This should work, everyone. I have a take damage function. Come on. It worked. Now he's just gonna run around. He's gonna die. Take my coffee mug. Take it. Oh my gosh, it's working. You can't beat me. Also, I noticed that it's going towards his feet. I should probably change that. It worked. How do you control the aim? Bartender, you don't. This is a survivors game. So if you've ever played like Vampire Survivors or something like that, then it just goes to automatically like wherever the enemies are. So right now, technically, I need to make it so that it throws a mug even if there's not an enemy near me. But I'm having it check to see if an enemy is near me. So if there's no nearest enemy, it's not running this code. So what I could do is I could do, instead of returning, I could do something like this and send it in a direction. So that's probably what I would need to do. I would need to like just send out a random 360 direction if there's no enemy. But yeah. Now you just need an animation when the cup hits, then to get splashed with coffee and run screaming for a bit. Well, yeah, this is just to get the projectiles going. The mug was just because I had that asset already. I actually need to make assets. But think like paper balls and paper clips, and we've got like different weapons and stuff the player's gonna have and collect. You also need an infinite source of mugs. We have that. It would be a cool effect. Yeah, I think if I'm throwing a coffee mug, it naturally would need to have some like side effect, right? No, definitely. Oh, alrighty then. Thanks, Next Prodigy. I appreciate it. Hope you sleep tight. I'll see you in the next one. Hey, John Doe ET, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. You hit a nerd character with it, gets supercharged. Then I should actually do the nerd mug, and then if it does hit a nerd, that would be a good idea. Scope creep. Okay, cool. So the mug works. What? What? I got the mug working. Look. Yeah, watch. Boom! And actually they take damage. I spent all stream doing that. Thanks. You could add so much silly details. Oh, I know. That's the great thing about making your own video games is you can do that if you want. Oh no, they're not taking damage now. Well, I don't want them to take damage when they're hovering over you anyways. Alright, let's find somebody to raid. You know what? It's been a minute since we raided Jitspo. That's going to be it for me tonight, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for watching me do some game dev. I've got the next 2 weeks off from work, so you'll probably see a lot more of me. But yeah, like I'm on a roll now. We've got tons of stuff to work on. I think we can actually check this off. Look at that basic. I know they're not an enemy, but you know, here, let's create ranged projectile. Look at that. We can make our own lists and check them off. So that's gonna be it for me. Let's go right out to Ditspo. They are working in Godot as well, but they're actually working on a 3D game. So it's gonna be a little bit more advanced than my fun little 2D stuff. But I appreciate you all for hanging out. And I hope to see you all in the next one. If you enjoyed the content, if you enjoyed hanging out, if you like Seto and you trust Seto's judgment, I think Seto follows me. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Yeah, no problem. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Hope you all have a great rest of your evening. And I don't think we're raiding in WoW anymore, so I might go live tomorrow too. I don't know. Maybe. I don't have anything to do during that time anymore, so. Until the next time, see you then. Bye. Have a good night, everyone.